Hey there, so welcome back. Here's where we were when we left off. If I hit play here, we made a system where we can create bombs, but they're not being created dynamically. Instead, we have a situation where if I right click on a bomb, I can turn it into in this case, a row bomb. And the system for the bombs is working just fine. But now we want to make it so that if we get a match of 4, then that's when the bombs will actually spawn. So let's get to that. So we're going to have to make a few changes here. So essentially what we want to do is we've already instituted, let me just play this again. We already instituted in our find matches method. If you take a look over here, nope, I have my match finder in a different thing. There we go. In the find matches method, if you look here, we have something that tells us what our current matches are. So if I make a match somewhere, there you go. You saw it briefly get populated with 3 items. And there, 3 items again, 3 items again, and then it gets cleared out when there aren't any matches on the board. And now it had 4 items in it for just a second there. So what we want to do is we want to have some sort of check to see how many items are being matched. And if it's 4 or 7, which are the 2 possibilities where you could have a match 4. So you could have 4 in here if you had 2 here, 1 here, and then you matched. That would make a match of 4. The other possibility is you could have 7, because you could have 2 here, 1 here, and then when you flip this one down, it could make a match 3 right underneath it, which would also lead to there having been a match 4 somewhere on the board. So we're going to dive right in here. Let's first open up the board class, and as soon as that's open, I will join you back. All right, so in the board class, the first thing I want to do is up here in my global variables, I want to make a reference to the last dot that was controlled. So I can kind of just do this anywhere, but I might as well do it next to all dots. So I'm going to say that this is going to be a public because I want to reference it from other scripts. And instead of just doing a game object, everything I want to do with that dot is in the dot script. So I'm going to have it be dot, and we'll call it current dot. Okay, so now that I've got that, the next thing I want to do is whenever I select the dot, I want to make the current dot the dot that was just selected. So in here, I've got my update method, check move coroutine, on mouse down, on mouse up. Let's do it right after we set the game state to move. So we'll say board dot current dot equals this. Okay, cool. So I just want to test that really quickly here. So it's not happening until I do mouse up. So, pardon me, as soon as Unity's done compiling, take a look at the board here. So it's got none there. If I hit play, wait for my board to fill. And then let's swap some pieces here. So I'm going to swap this one with that one. What if I do it with 2 that aren't matched? That's weird. Okay. Swiping. Oh, I did it in the wrong place. You need to X this out and put it there. So I'm going to save that, pop back into Unity here, and as soon as it's done compiling, we'll test it out. Oops. Pardon me again. I do this thing where I'll click play and then I'll get impatient and I'll click it again, and as soon as it starts, it stops because I'm impatient. So there, it registered that dot for a second, but then the dot went away. If I do it like this, then it should keep the dot there. So it knows that it's this dot that was the last dot that we touched. Now what we want to do then is when we are doing the check move coroutine, so if other dot is null, and if we're not matched and the other dot isn't matched, then we want to say that the board dot current dot is equal to null. Now we're not going to set it equal to null when we're destroying matches because we're going to need to know what the current dot was because we need to know which piece to turn into a bomb. So let's also not make other dot null here. Sorry, I've got a little bit of a cold. Okay, cool. So next thing I want to do is in the find matches script here, I'm going to create a new method down, and I'll just put it at the bottom here. I'm going to call this a public void, and this is going to actually check to see if we need to make a bomb or not. So check, let's call it check bombs. Okay, now we're going to say, first we want to check to see, did the player move something? And they would have moved something when that current dot isn't null. So we'll say if board dot current dot is not equal to null. Okay, cool. Next, we want to check to see if the piece they moved is currently matched. So is the piece they moved matched? So if board, help if I could spell that, board dot current dot is matched. Okay, now if the piece they moved is matched, or sorry, if the piece they moved isn't matched, it could be that the other piece, the piece they swapped with, is matched. So we're going to add an else if here. So else if board dot current dot other dot, yeah, dot other dot. How did I save the other dot in the dot class? Let's take a look. Oops. There we go. Okay. Anyway, back in the dot class here. How did I save the other dot? Is it private? Yeah, it's private. Let's make it public. And I'm making it public so that we can access it from the find matches class right here. So adding on to is the piece they moved matched, we're going to say is the other piece matched. And so we're going to say else if board dot current dot other dot, and we're saving other dot as a game object, which probably isn't the best idea, which means that we have to get the component of dot from it instead of just asking if it's matched. So dot get component, and the component we want to get from the other dot is dot is matched. Okay, a little confusing there, I know. Let's take a look at the first situation here. Is the piece that they currently moved matched? So what we're going to do is we're going to say first we want to make it unmatched so that it doesn't get destroyed when we go through and clear off all the matched pieces. So board dot current dot is matched equals false. So that piece will stay. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to decide on what type of bomb we're making. I'm pretty sure Candy Crush does it randomly, where it's either randomly a column or a row. It might be based on the kind of movement you made to do that, but I don't think so. Because if it were, then it would always be the same, because the only way you can get a match of 4 is having 2 dots of one color and 1 dot of another color. So we're going to make it random. So we're going to say decide what kind of bomb to make. So we're going to say int type of bomb is equal to random.range 0, 100. And I'm just using a straight percentage system here. So I'm choosing a random number from 0 to 99. There's 100 of those. I'm going to decide based on which number I choose if it's a row or a column bomb. And I'm going to make it just a flat 50-50 split. If you want to do differently, that's fine. I'll say if type of bomb is less than 50, then I want to make a row bomb. Else if type of bomb is greater than or equal to 50, then I want to make a column bomb. Okay, so now I don't actually have a method to do either of these two things yet. So I'm going to save my script, and I'm going to go into the dot method, and that's where I'm going to do the turning it into a column bomb or a row bomb. And I can actually use this debug thing that we put in here, this on mouse over. I can use this as kind of a setup for the logic for how to make a column or a row bomb. So I'm going to copy these lines that are inside of this if statement. I'm going to go all the way down. I like to add new methods at the bottom. You can add them somewhere else, it's fine. So I'm going to say public, because I want to be able to access it from the find matches, void, because it doesn't return anything. Do make row bomb. And I'm going to pass in that code I just made. So is row bomb is true. Game object arrow is instantiate row arrow, transfer to position, quaternion.identity, and its parent is this game object. I'm going to do something similar for public void make column bomb. And I'm going to take this code here, I'm going to copy it, paste it. And instead of being is row bomb, it's going to be is column bomb. And I'm going to instantiate a column arrow. Column arrow. Okay, cool. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back to my find matches method here. So for making a row bomb, I'm going to say board dot make, oh, not board, sorry. Yeah, no, I need board. So board dot current dot make row bomb. And then down here, board dot current dot make column bomb. Okay, I'm going to save that. So let's just kind of run through our logic here. We have created a reference to the current dot that we just controlled. We've created methods in the dot class to turn that dot into a row bomb or a column bomb. In the find matches method, we are checking to see if the board current dot is not null, meaning if it exists, and if we just move something. And if it's matched, then we're going to make it unmatched because we don't want it to go away, we want it to stay. We're going to decide what kind of bomb it is, and then we're going to make it that kind of bomb. Now, most of our logic is here. The one thing that's missing is what actually calls this check bombs method. And probably the easiest way to do that is if we go to the board class here, I want to go down to check my destroy matches app. So this is checking to see if the all dots, column row, get component dot, if it's matched. I'm going to, in here, how many elements are in the match pieces list from find matches. So I'm just asking myself how many elements are in that matched pieces list from find matches. So I'm going to say if find matches dot matched, or current matches, I guess, yeah, dot count is equal to 4, or find matches dot current matches dot count is equal to 7. So if there's 4 in there, or if there's 7 in there, as far as I'm aware, I might have a problem in my logic. The only way that you can get 4 or 7 is if at least one of them is a match 4. Then I'm going to do find matches dot check bombs. All right, I'm going to save this code here. It's kind of a lot of code we just did without testing anything. So let's pop back into Unity and see if first there are any syntax errors. And it doesn't look like it. If you're getting this yellow message down here, I think I've addressed it before in a previous video. this board.allTiles is assigned but never used. That's something that we're going to come back to here very, very soon. And we're going to use that board.allTiles to decide if we want to have like holes in our board, if we don't want it to be just a plain rectangle, if we want like a cutout here or a cutout in the center. Anyway, so let's play here, and let's see if we make our matches like we're supposed to. So my first thing I need is a match of 4. So I'm just going to play really quickly here until I can find a place where there would be a match 4. So I'll probably speed this up. Okay, so right away, there's a place where I could get a match 4. So I'm going to swap, and there we go. The piece that I swapped turned into this. Now the one thing that did happen though, if I pause this and look over in my scene view, if you'll notice here, if I click on this object, its opacity is brought down. And the reason its opacity is brought down is if we look at the dot script here in the update method, further up, we're checking to see if it's matched. Then we're making it opaque, or not opaque, more translucent. But we never, since it was matched and then we made it not matched, we never turned its color back. I don't actually need this is matched stuff here anymore to change the color, so I'm just going to comment it out. And you can comment a whole section of code out rather than using these double lines or double slashes for every line. If you find the section you want to comment out and do /* at the beginning of the section you want to comment, and then */ at the end. So you're kind of like opening something and then reversing it to close it. So I'm going to save my code, pop back into Unity here, and I'm going to hit play again to try it out now after it's done thinking. All right, and it doesn't look like it generated with match 4, so I'm going to speed this up while I find a match 4. Oop. Okay, cool. So here's an error. Right now it's not finding these matches because it's stopping in the board class in destroy matches at. It's stopping right here because it called find matches.checkBomb. Is that why it's doing that? I don't know. Let's look at the board here really quickly. No. Game object has been destroyed, but you are still trying to access it. In where is this at? Fill board. Wait, okay. Script should either check if you should not destroy the object, check bombs. Okay, yeah. Find matches line 169. There we go. Okay, so find matches line 169. Oh, I need to check to see if this isn't null. So let's say dot other dot is not equal to null. And there we go. And then what I want to do here, well, I'll come back to that. So I'll save this, let's pop back into Unity, and let's try this again. As soon as it's done compiling, all right, let's hit play. Okay, so here we go, pieces slide in. Don't see a match 4 right away, so I'm gonna, oh no, here we go, right there. So if I flip-flop those, and there we go. And it's not grayed out. And now I'm going to play a little bit just to see if I can use that piece, or to see if I can get a row or column bomb that I can use just to show you it works. So let's, oh, hey there. It thought that was a match 4. Match finder. Oh, okay. We're not clearing out that list. So it got a match of 7 when it shouldn't have. So let's do one more thing here. In our board script, when we, let's see here, probably in the fill board coroutine is where we want to do this. Okay, cool. So what I want to do here really quickly after we destroy all the matches that are on the board, so I'm going to do find matches dot current matches dot clear. All right, so I'm going to save that. Let's pop back into Unity here. It's going to compile for a second. Okay, let's play. Now, I haven't done a ton of playtesting on this to make sure it works like it's supposed to, but we'll try it out. So I'm just gonna make a couple bombs here. See if I can get a situation to use them. So I'll speed up this footage. Okay, cool. So you just saw that one got used. So all right, now this is most of the bomb functionality working. What we want to do next time is in here, we're going to, in our find matches method, we're going to fill out the rest of whether or not it's the other piece that's matched. So if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the description down below. Yeah, have a wonderful day.